Well, following the last ride, that didn't quite go as well as I'd hoped. I found that the rubber boot on the choke or enrichener on the carburettor had come up out of its locating groove and was holding the choke lever part way down, and also the plug lead was jammed between the head steady and the lever holding the choke open slightly, so that's why we didn't have a tick over and why we had some of the banging and popping, I guess. I've also put the ignition timing back where it was, so we're going to give it a try again and see whether it's made any difference, and hopefully difference in the right direction. I've got this funny little switch device which I can't operate with the glove on my hand there. That's it. Fuel on as well. So I'm hoping that, all being well, this might be the final ride I need to take on this. Let's see how it goes this time. Fine old machine. That seems a bit sharper. We're getting into the people wanting to get home from work on a Friday now. Right, we seem to have a tick over. as I'd hoped, by retarding the inlet cam, it has taken a good degree of the vibiness out of it. It's not as harsh as it was, and advancing the timing up again has brought back the kick in the pants, sharpened it up a bit. I was talking about not long ago about classic engines and modern fuels, that actually sort of suggested that if you were going to adjust your ignition timing to suit modern fuels, you would actually advance it, not retard it. Although to be fair, I was only trying to correct what I believe to be an over advanced timing, but seems to like a few degrees extra this. I'd say that we're probably going off closer to 9mm before top dead centre than 8 on this. I set it to 8, full advance, and it didn't seem so happy with it. Oh yeah, much more brisk. Yeah, that was top gear. I wouldn't have considered using that last time. Yes, that's the nicest this bike has been so far. I say so far, I think I'm done with it actually. There are still vibrations in the same rev band area as it was before, but they're not so harsh and sharp. And that'll be thanks to retarding the inlet cam. we are. There's Mum with her babies again. Keep off the road or you get squashed. Yeah, I pull the clutch in, we're in top gear, freewheeling, we're ticking over. As I said in my previous video, the popping on the overrun doesn't really bother me, although I'm sure it's going to get up some people's noses and there'll probably be comments about it, but it's not actually doing it any harm. A lot of modern off-road style bikes that do that actually. Some of the bikes I go out with occasionally when I take my Tiger Cubs and my old Royal Enfield out, do lots of popping and banging on the overrun. So retarding the inlet cam timing gives you a valve timing more like the old Redditch bullets had. Just a little bit more sporty. Less chug 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 and a bit more rip. This time we'll take a right turn and have the Roman road, I think. That's one of my mates who comes off-roading with me. Right. Nice to know that the front brake works well and that it's not going to cause anything nasty to happen. It must have been so close to being able to just spin itself away from the fork leg and do God knows what before. Always worth having a good look at them, I would say, on these bullets and anything else for that matter. Same sort of thing that's cropped up on other machines from time to time that I've worked on. Including a BSA that someone had put a Norton front brake on and they put the torque arm behind the fork leg in compression, and it wasn't very thick material either. It's amazing what some people can get up to with brakes. Although in the case of this one, I think it was manufacturing tolerance discrepancies working against each other that just made the whole thing unworkable, really. Definitely a lot more useful and rideable than it was when it came here. Right, well, I think that is probably job done. We'll have a little look at it when we get home. See if everything's alright. Nice bit of kit there. Right, we're still in first gear. We've got the clutch pulled in and we're at a tick over, look. There we are. Now then, I've clicked us into neutral. So that's all working nicely. I think hopefully we're still filming. Yes, we are. Nice and clean, no leaks, no rattles, no smoke. Should we try a hot start? Just out of interest. No problem there. Right, well, we're well into a nice sunny Friday afternoon. This all seems to be working as it ought to, and I think it's probably time to put it away, upload my videos, and crack open a beer or two. Job done, I'd say. A nice way to round the week off once again.